Hi, everybody. I'm composer Laura Karpman, and it's my pleasure to be in conversation today with the brilliant composer Ezinma and speaking about her score for the film Stranger at the Gate. Congratulations on the film. It's so amazing. And I think you did such a spectacular job with your gorgeous score for this. And I'm personally so happy to see you doing this because you came over here just, coming and breaking into the business. And now you're out there, you're doing it. And we're just so proud of you around here.
Oh, well, thank you, Laura. And you and Nora are just such an inspiration and everything that
Oh,
you represent. And I don't know, I just feel that so much of what we need to hear today is removing the hate space and
yeah.
inserting a space of understanding and
Yeah.
asking questions and conversation. And I think this film really does that beautifully in a way that I was just excited and grateful to be a part of. And, honestly, both of you linked me to the director and to the team.
Yeah.
It was just awesome, really.
No, we're thrilled to do that. Listen, I do have a couple of questions.
Okay.
I think one of the things that struck me is, look, hate is a worldwide story, but this story is an American story. It happens in the heartland.
Yeah.
So how did you reflect the kind of the Americanness of it, or the heartland aspect of this, in terms of the way that you approached the score? Because it felt to me like that was a conscious decision on your part.
Yeah, I am originally from Nebraska, which is at the heartland of
right.
the Gets. And,
Yeah.
for me, my mom is white. She's from Iowa and my dad's Guyanese. And I think so many of the stories and the tensions in this particular film really resonated with me. And that is what's happening in America as more families are becoming blended and we're kind of forced to become one. And when people aren't really ready for that unification, I definitely experienced that with my family. And I think
Right.
bringing that to life via the score was something that was really a pleasure to do. And I just really had to tap within my own childhood and my own experiences to write it.
So, look, you're a master violinist. How does your practice as a performer really infiltrate and influence your composing?
Well, that's a great question because it's something that I'm still discovering. I think in many ways I felt like I needed to shy away from being a performer. And now on this side of where I stand, I realize that it's really in a way my superpower. And so often I just sort of plug in and amplify and use all these pedals and just jam around and see what happens. And I find really exciting cells for themes or ideas within that jam session. So I really approach it like I do everything, with all of my heart and my passion. I try not to separate composer and performer, but instead, bring them together.
I've thought a lot that, people talk about improvisation as this kind of like side thing or less than composing. And for me, I've thought a lot about that film scoring in some ways is recorded improvisation. It's a lot of what I do. And I'm wondering if you find that in your own practice as well.
Yeah. And, just being able to, perform and record for your music and observe how you work. I think saw how I could use both and use improvisation to write and also from the writing improvise. And I didn't really understand that connection until really I got to just sit and chill in your space. So.
Oh, that's so great. Another thing that really struck me about the score and about the film too is it feels like it's always playing with darkness and light. Like you have this beautiful family who embody optimism, and then you've got this guy who has a lot of hate, but also love, love for his family, love for his wife, love for his child. And it feels to me like you're constantly playing with those levels. And tell me how did you think about that? And how did that sort of emerge in terms of what you wrote in the score?
Yeah, well, I think what I noticed the first time I watched the film, which, really made me emotional, was I saw how Mac was really motivated by his love for his daughter. And I think
Right.
that may not be the immediate takeaway. I also noticed how all of the stories are connected via trauma. You have Jomo, a black man, trauma. You have the
Right.
refugees, trauma,
Right.
or BB and Saber. And then you have Mac. Everybody's connected via this one thing. And I
Right.
started to realize that perhaps hate is an inversion or a thwarted love, perhaps, or the
Hmm.
inverse. And with that, I began to, write thematically and kind of flip them or change intervals or, reverse it and like do weird things with the audio. But I really,
Yes, I heard that. The
yeah,
all that like the little violin
I love
arpeggios and
that.
then everything in reverse. No, it's awesome. It's really well
Yeah.
done.
So that was sort of the concept behind it.
Oh my God,
Oh
there's a
my
lot of music. There's the kitty.
There's a cat.
Perfect.
My assistant
Perfect
here.
timing. Light and dark. There is the white cat. So, a lot of music in this short film.
A
I
lot
mean,
of
it's
music.
wall to wall, right? It's really, it's like it has as much music as many full length features do. How did you deal with that and deal with, because this is really a big step ahead for you in terms of like really approaching a meaty piece of a fine, obviously a very fine film, and having this kind of stretch and this requirement made of you to really have to support these emotions for a good period of time.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, the team, they were amazing. Josh and everyone who was a part of the project, they were so articulate and so clear about what they wanted.
Great.
And, there wasn't a lot of time at all to write this. And it was, it's like it was a big step for me in so many ways. And I don't quite know how it happened. But
But you got
happened.
through it, right? You
Yeah.
got through it.
Yeah.
So I think you've already pretty well answered this, but if you had to say in one sentence what the message of this film is and how your score amplifies that message, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think that one message, I mean, I guess it's one word, and that word to me is humanity. Every time I watch this film, I just think about humanity and how, it, and in the score, I just tried to be as human as possible. I'm singing in it, and nobody wants to hear me sing, but like, there's something about the imperfections of my voice and of the
Right.
violin and of everything that really, I think helped like push air and breathe life into this story that is really just so powerful. So I guess the one phrase or word or sentence is just humanity. That's what I kind of saw.
That's beautiful. And I want to say that I am particularly grateful to all the filmmakers on this team for giving you this opportunity
Oh,
and to uplift underrepresented composers
yeah.
and give them spectacular vehicles like this that become Oscar nominated. So I want to congratulate you and every member of this team for finding and nurturing your talent. And I can't wait to see what you do next.
Oh, thank you so much, Laura. Thank you. And
No,
you
my love to
great.
you, my big love to you.
Oh, thank you.